Hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Logan, and if you're here, you're probably looking for a way to learn English that's not only simple but also fun and effective. Learning English can open up so many new opportunities, whether you want to travel, make new friends, or improve your career. Today, I'm here to help guide you through a step-by-step plan for learning English easily. So, what makes this approach different? We're going to keep things simple. Instead of complicated grammar rules and overwhelming vocabulary lists, I'll show you small, manageable steps you can take every day to improve. This journey won't just be about memorizing. It's about building confidence and making English part of your everyday life. We'll start with the basics, words and phrases you'll actually use. Then we'll move on to practical techniques like listening to English music, watching TV shows, and even practicing short conversations. Now, one very important thing to remember is that learning a language is a journey, not a race. It's normal to make mistakes, and it's okay to take your time. Every little bit of progress you make counts. Don't worry if you don't understand everything right away. The key is to stay consistent, practice a little bit each day, and keep a positive attitude. Remember, you're learning something completely new, and that's something to be proud of. So, let's dive in. Follow along as we explore each step to make learning English easy and enjoyable. Get ready to build a foundation that will set you up for success. Let's start this journey together. Let's start with the basics. Vocabulary. Vocabulary is the core of any language because it's the key to expressing ideas, describing things, and communicating even simple thoughts. Imagine trying to speak without knowing the words. It would be nearly impossible. Vocabulary gives you the tools you need to start constructing sentences and having small conversations. And as you build your vocabulary, you'll also build confidence. Knowing a few words means you can begin to understand and be understood. Starting with vocabulary is also motivating. The more words you learn, the more you can say and understand. And when you feel that you're making progress, it becomes easier to stay motivated and keep learning. When it comes to vocabulary, it's best to start small. Instead of trying to memorize hundreds of words at once, focus on just 10 simple words each week. These should be words you might use in daily life. Think of words like hello, goodbye, water, food, please, and thank you. These are practical and will help you start interacting in English right away. Write these words down in a notebook or create a list on your phone where you can easily look at them whenever you have a spare moment. Say the words aloud to get familiar with how they sound. Then, try to make simple sentences with each one. For example, if you're learning the word water, you can practice saying, I drink water, or can I have some water? This approach helps you remember the words better because you're actively using them in a way that feels real and relevant. Flashcards are a fantastic way to learn vocabulary. You can use physical flashcards if you prefer a hands-on approach, or there are many apps like Anki or Quizlet that make digital flashcards. Flashcards work well because they encourage you to recall information, which strengthens your memory. For each flashcard, write the word on one side and its translation or definition on the other. Go through your flashcards daily, and as you learn a word, you can add it to a known pile. Adding visuals to your learning can also make a big difference. Research shows that our brains remember images better than words alone. So if you're learning the word apple, you could draw a small picture of an apple next to the word, or even better, use a real photo. Associating a word with an image helps your brain retain the information. Some people even make vocabulary walls in their room, where they post words with pictures on the wall as a daily reminder. Another great way to reinforce new vocabulary is by using multiple senses. Speak, listen, and write the words. By saying the words aloud, you're practicing pronunciation and getting comfortable with the sound of the word. Listening to yourself speak also helps train your ear, which is important for recognizing these words when others say them. Writing down words and sentences gives you extra practice and helps you remember the spelling. Try this exercise. Every time you learn a new word, write it down 3 times. Then, write a simple sentence using the word. By practicing in these different ways, you're reinforcing the vocabulary in your mind. Learning vocabulary in context is much more effective than memorizing isolated words. For instance, rather than just learning the word water, practice it in different phrases, like I need water, water bottle, or glass of water. This shows you how the word works in different situations, making it more useful in real conversations. If you're learning words around a certain topic, like food, try to group similar words together. Learn apple, banana, bread, and water at the same time. This way, you're creating a context in your mind, which helps in memory recall. When you go to the kitchen, practice naming the food items you see. This practice helps reinforce your vocabulary in a real-life setting. Practicing vocabulary in conversations, even short ones, can make a huge difference. If you're studying alone, try speaking to yourself in English. For example, if you're getting a glass of water, say to yourself, I am drinking water. Or if you're with a friend who's also learning English, try having short exchanges. Practice saying hello and goodbye, or asking simple questions like, do you like coffee? Practicing in this way helps make vocabulary feel natural, not forced. If you don't have a friend to practice with, you can even practice with a pet, a plant, or even in front of a mirror. It might feel silly at first, but speaking out loud in any form is great practice. This will help you become comfortable using the words out loud, which is key to building confidence. As you continue to learn, it's important to review and expand your vocabulary weekly. Go over the words you learned last week and see if you remember them. Quiz yourself or ask a friend to test you. Then, add another 10 words to your list. By reviewing, you make sure you don't forget what you've already learned, and by adding new words, you keep moving forward. Also, look for opportunities to use your new vocabulary in everyday life. If you're learning the word book, try to talk about your favorite book, or even say, I am reading a book, whenever you actually are. These little moments help solidify your learning. If you enjoy using technology, there are many apps specifically designed to help build vocabulary. Some of the most popular ones are Duolingo, Memrise, and Babbel. These apps use games and challenges to make vocabulary learning fun and interactive. Plus, they're portable, so you can study whenever you have a free moment, like during a commute or a break at work. Some apps also allow you to track your progress, which can be motivating. Seeing how many words you've learned and how consistent you've been in practicing can help keep you on track. Remember, it's better to learn slowly and steadily than to overwhelm yourself. Aiming to learn 10 words each week is manageable, and by the end of a month, you'll know about 40 new words. Over time, these small efforts will add up, and you'll have a solid foundation in vocabulary. Don't rush. It's normal to forget some words and need to review them. The key is to stay consistent and be patient with yourself. Learning a new language is like building a house. You have to lay down each brick carefully. The vocabulary you're learning now will be the bricks that support your future English skills. Now that you have a foundation of vocabulary, it's time to start putting those words into sentences. Building sentences may seem challenging at first, but if you start with simple structures, you'll quickly gain the confidence to express yourself. This step is all about taking the words you've learned and using them in ways that feel natural and practical. By mastering basic sentences, you'll be prepared to handle everyday conversations and interactions. Let's start with the simplest sentences, those that talk about you. These sentences are essential because they allow you to introduce yourself and share a bit of personal information. For example, start with I am longen. This is one of the most basic but important sentences you can learn, as it allows you to tell others who you are. Try saying, I am Logan, or whatever your name is. Another good phrase to practice is, I am from India. This helps you share a bit about your background. Once you're comfortable with that, move on to sentences like I like coffee or I like pizza. Think of things you enjoy or activities you do daily and practice saying them. If you enjoy reading, say I like reading, or if you enjoy music, say I like music. These simple phrases allow you to talk about yourself in a way that's easy for others to understand. You'll find that talking about things you like is a great conversation starter, and it helps make learning feel relevant. Practice making sentences about everyday situations. For example, if you're learning vocabulary about food, try sentences like, I eat breakfast, I drink water, or I cook dinner. Practicing with real-life examples will make it easier for you to remember, because these are sentences you might actually use every day. After you've practiced sentences about yourself, it's time to learn some common greetings and questions. These are key parts of any conversation and will give you the confidence to start talking with others. Begin with basic greetings like hello or hi. When meeting someone, you can say, hello, my name is Logan, or simply, hi, I am Logan. Practicing these introductions will make you feel more comfortable when meeting new people. And when someone asks, how are you? Try responding with, I am fine, thank you, or I'm good, thank you. These basic responses help you navigate friendly conversations and set a positive tone. Another useful question to practice is, what's your name? This is something you'll often ask when meeting people for the first time. Practice both asking and answering this question so you feel comfortable on both sides of the conversation. For example, if someone asks, what's your name? You can answer with, my name is Logan. Learning to ask simple questions like, where are you from? Or, do you like coffee? Can be very helpful too. They allow you to get to know others and make the conversation flow. Practicing these kinds of questions will make it easier to keep a conversation going, even if you're still learning English. And since they are questions that people commonly ask, you'll be able to use them in many different situations. It's important to focus on positive sentences because they are generally easier to remember and use. For example, practice responses like, I am happy, or I feel good. If someone asks how your day is going, you could say, I am having a good day. These responses not only help build your confidence, but also show that you are open and friendly. Another helpful response to learn is, thank you. This is a polite and common way to respond, whether someone offers you help, gives you a compliment, or does something nice for you. Saying thank you is simple, but it leaves a positive impression on people. Practice adding thank you to your sentences. For example, thank you, I am fine, or thank you for your help. Learning to say excuse me or I'm sorry is also useful. If you need to get someone's attention, saying excuse me is a polite way to start. And if you make a mistake, I'm sorry shows that you're respectful and thoughtful. These small phrases may seem simple, but they make a big difference in how people perceive you. Using I am and I like statements is a simple way to share information about yourself. I am allows you to talk about your feelings, your background, or your interests. For example, you can say, I am happy, I am a teacher, or I am learning English. Each of these sentences gives the listener a little more information about you. Similarly, I like is a powerful phrase that helps you express your preferences. You can say, I like music, I like to travel, or I like learning. These phrases give the listener insight into your interests, and they're easy to remember. Plus, practicing sentences about things you enjoy makes learning more enjoyable and helps build connections with others. If you're ready for a little extra practice, try combining the two. For instance, say, I am happy because I like to read, or I am learning English because I like meeting new people. Combining phrases adds variety to your language and makes your sentences feel fuller. Once you're comfortable with short sentences, try expanding them. Start by adding 1 or 2 more words to make the sentence a bit longer. For example, instead of saying I like coffee, you could say I like hot coffee, or I like drinking coffee in the morning. By adding just a few words, you're giving more information and making the sentence more interesting. Practice using sentences that describe what you're doing right now. For example, I am watching a video, or I am learning English. These I am sentences, also called present continuous sentences, are a useful way to talk about actions happening in the present. They are also easy to learn because they follow a simple pattern. I am plus action. Try practicing these types of sentences to get comfortable talking about your current activities. If you want to make your sentences more versatile, practice using words like and, but, and because. These words help you connect ideas and add variety to your speech. For example, you can say, I like coffee and tea, or I am happy because I am learning English. These small words make your sentences sound more natural and help you express more complex ideas. To really master basic sentences, it's helpful to practice them daily. Make it a habit to speak a few sentences about yourself each day. You can practice alone, in front of a mirror, or with a friend if possible. Even a few minutes each day can make a big difference. Start by saying a few sentences about your morning routine. For example, I wake up at 7, I eat breakfast, or I go to work. Then in the evening, you can talk about your day. Say something like, I had a good day, or I learned something new. Practicing in this way will help you get comfortable with basic sentences, making it easier to use them naturally. If you're learning with a friend or language partner, try practicing these simple conversations together. Ask each other basic questions and give answers using the phrases you've learned. Practicing with someone else is great because it mimics a real conversation, which is the best way to prepare for speaking with others in English. Welcome back. Now that you've built a strong foundation in vocabulary and basic sentences, it's time to enhance your learning with a fun and effective method. Watching TV shows. This step is a fantastic way to immerse yourself in the language, improve your listening skills, and pick up natural speech patterns. Let's explore how to use TV shows as a tool to learn English easily. The first step in this process is selecting the right shows to watch. Since you are still in the early stages of learning English, it's important to choose programs that are easy to understand and follow. Complex dramas with intricate plots and heavy dialogue can be overwhelming and may discourage you from continuing to practice. Instead, opt for sitcoms or shows aimed at younger audiences. These programs often use clear language and have simple, straightforward storylines. Shows like Friends, The Office, or children's cartoons such as Peppa Pig or Paw Patrol are excellent choices. These types of shows typically have slower dialogue and repeat phrases frequently, making it easier for you to catch the words and understand the context. You can also look for educational shows designed for English learners. These programs focus on teaching vocabulary and phrases while keeping the content engaging. By starting with simpler content, you will build confidence and gradually improve your understanding of the language. Once you've chosen a show, the next step is to turn on English subtitles. Watching with subtitles is a powerful technique that allows you to read and listen simultaneously. This dual input helps reinforce your understanding of words and phrases, making it easier to remember them. As you watch, try to follow along with the subtitles. Pay attention to how the words are pronounced and how they are used in context. If you come across a phrase you don't understand, feel free to pause the show. Take a moment to process what you've heard and try to mimic the words or phrases. This practice not only improves your pronunciation, but also helps you internalize new vocabulary. Using subtitles also allows you to see how sentences are constructed in real-life conversation. You'll notice how native speakers use contractions, slang, and casual expressions, which may not be covered in textbooks. This exposure will enhance your understanding of spoken English and prepare you for real-life interactions. To maximize your learning experience, consider keeping a notebook dedicated to your TV watching sessions. Write down interesting words, phrases, or expressions you come across while watching. This will create a personalized vocabulary list that you can refer back to later. When you encounter a new word or phrase, pause the show and jot it down. Next, write a simple definition or note about its context. For example, if you hear someone say, "Let's hang out," You can write down that hangout means to spend time with someone in a casual setting. After your viewing session, revisit your notes and try to use those new words or phrases in your own sentences. This practice reinforces your memory and helps you apply what you've learned in a practical way. You could also create flashcards with these words, writing the word on one side and its meaning, or a sample sentence on the other. Reviewing these flashcards regularly will help you reinforce your understanding and retention of the language. To make the most of this method, set a regular routine for watching shows. Designate specific times during the week to watch an episode or two. Consistency is key to language learning, and making it a habit will lead to steady progress. Start with shorter episodes around 20 to 30 minutes long. This manageable length allows you to stay focused and not feel overwhelmed. As you grow more comfortable with the language, you can gradually increase the length of the shows you watch. Another great way to enhance your learning experience is to discuss what you watch. If you have friends or family who are also learning English, consider having watch parties where you can share thoughts about the show. Talk about your favorite characters, funny moments, or interesting phrases you've learned. If you don't have anyone to discuss it with, consider writing a summary of the episode in English. Describe what happened, what you liked, and any new vocabulary you learned. This practice not only reinforces your language skills, but also boosts your writing ability. Welcome back. Now that you've expanded your vocabulary and learned how to engage with English through TV shows, it's time to focus on one of the most crucial aspects of language learning: speaking. This step is all about practicing speaking aloud, even if you're doing it alone. Let's explore why this is important and how you can incorporate it into your daily routine. Speaking aloud is an essential part of learning a new language. When you practice speaking, you train your mouth and vocal cords to produce English sounds and words, which is especially important if you're not in an English-speaking environment. Just like athletes train their muscles for performance, language learners need to train their mouths to articulate new sounds and words. Practicing out loud helps you become more comfortable with pronunciation and improves your overall fluency. It allows you to experiment with the rhythm and intonation of English, making your speech sound more natural. Additionally, speaking aloud reinforces what you've learned and helps you remember vocabulary and sentence structures better. Even if you are alone, speaking out loud can boost your confidence. It creates a safe space for you to make mistakes and learn from them without the fear of judgment. So, don't hesitate to talk to yourself or practice in front of a mirror. It's all part of the learning process. 1. Describe what you're doing. One simple and effective way to practice speaking is to narrate your daily activities. As you go about your day, say things like, "I'm making coffee," or "I'm going to the store." This practice helps you think in English and reinforces vocabulary related to everyday actions. By doing this, you'll get used to forming sentences spontaneously, which is a crucial skill for real-life conversations. 2. Practice with a mirror. Speaking in front of a mirror is a fun and effective method to build confidence. When you see yourself speaking, it helps you focus on your mouth movements and facial expressions. You can practice your pronunciation, observe your body language, and even work on your smile. This method creates a feeling of interaction, even if you are just speaking to your reflection. Plus, it allows you to become more aware of how you sound and look when you speak, which can help reduce anxiety when communicating with others. 3. Narrate simple stories. Storytelling is a powerful tool for language practice. You don't need to tell elaborate tales. Start with simple stories. You can talk about a movie you recently watched, a book you read, or a memorable experience from your past. For instance, say, "Yesterday, I watched a funny movie about a dog," and continue to describe the plot or your favorite parts. This practice helps you use descriptive language and structure sentences cohesively. Even if your narration is only a few sentences, it's excellent practice. 4. Use prompts for speaking. To make your practice more engaging, consider using prompts. Write down topics or questions on pieces of paper and draw one at random. You could ask yourself, "What is your favorite food?" or "What did you do last weekend?" Spend a few minutes speaking about that topic. This method can help you think on your feet and improve your ability to speak spontaneously. 5. Record yourself. Another great practice technique is to record yourself speaking. Use your phone or computer to capture your voice as you describe your day or tell a story. Afterward, listen to the recording. This allows you to hear your pronunciation and identify areas for improvement. You might be surprised at how much progress you make over time. 6. Join online speaking communities. If you want to practice speaking with others, consider joining online language exchange platforms. Many websites and apps connect language learners from around the world. You can schedule voice or video calls to practice speaking with native speakers or fellow learners. This interaction will give you real-life speaking experience and help you gain confidence in your abilities. 7. Set speaking goals. To keep yourself motivated, set specific speaking goals. You might aim to speak aloud for 10 minutes each day or narrate a story every week. Having clear goals can help you stay focused and track your progress. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small, as they will encourage you to continue practicing.